Are we live? Welcome to another rendition of Just My Opinion podcast. It's your host and moderator. I'm Krista Don One. How y'all living? I'm living swell. Feel free, be sure to hit the subscription button, the notification bell, share this content with your friends, family, as well as your followers. Uh, get at me. We got to get this podcast lit in the YouTube algorithm. Okay. So without further ado, this is kind of uh this was sort of quick. I didn't plan for this live stream. So bear with your brother, okay? Pardon the mess, all right? But nevertheless, I'm the best. Let's get into it. Let's address the news and notes of the NBA. The news and notes that concern me. There's plenty of news in the NBA, but I feel like these are three key important things for the NBA. And one thing, this is coming from Woj over there at ESPN. Breaking news, even though this it went down a couple of days ago. LeBron James suffered a foot tender injury and is going to be reevaluated in the next 3 weeks. So if you are LeBron James fans, if you are Laker fans, the news is not looking good. LeBron James suffered the injury to his right foot against the Dallas Mavericks last weekend and will be reevaluated in about 3 weeks, the Los Angeles Lakers announced Thursday. The announcement came after LeBron James returned to LA and was examined by the team medical staff and the physicians. The Lakers are currently 1-1 with a win over the Dallas Mavericks. Let me turn this down a little bit, folks. With the Dallas Mavericks, and they lost to the Memphis Grizzlies on Tuesday, but they finished their 3-game road trip with a 123-117 win over the Oklahoma City Thunder. Surprise, surprise. Who knew that was going to transpire? LeBron James is 38. Was hurt in Sunday's win at the Dallas game following a drive. Dwight Powell in the third quarter. James could be heard on the broadcast telling the Laker bench he heard a pop after he tumbled to the floor, was walking with a noticeable limp following the game. James told ESPN during the on-court interview after the game that he thought he stepped on Powell's foot, causing discomfort. However, the replay shows it was a non-contact injury. The Lakers are currently 1 game out of the number 10 seed in the Western Conference Finals. That is not good, folks. And has a chance to be in the play-in tournament with 20 games remaining in the regular season. The Los Angeles Lakers will host the Memphis Grizzlies, which, by the way, they lost to. And point guard D'Angelo Russell told ESPN he will miss the Wolves game because of a sprained right ankle. Okay, so this is not good news if you are a Los Angeles Laker fan. And on a side note, Anthony Davis also was injured too, but they expected, and he did, play in the Timberwolves game. And there's a lot of reports that suggest that Anthony Davis has had enough playing alongside LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. If you listened to my video that I uploaded a couple of days ago, I told you guys, I gave you the reasons why Anthony Davis is sort of kind of frustrated with the Los Angeles Lakers organization, Jeannie Buss, as well as LeBron James. You know, LeBron James promised him something that has not been delivered. LeBron James said that he was going to allow Anthony Davis to run the franchise, and he was going to be Robin to Anthony, and Anthony Davis was going to be Batman. Now, a lot of people are saying that, well, let's be real, let's be honest. Anthony Davis, if you talk about Anthony Davis, The struggle has been real. He cannot consistently stay on the court. But if you look at it and if you pay attention to it, Anthony Davis has always been injury prone, even when he was with the New Orleans Pelicans. So I don't understand why people thought that he was going to find a fountain that's going to allow him to stay stay injury free as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. But uh, that's one concern Anthony Davis and his team has with LeBron James. LeBron James hasn't fully committed on being the Robin to as Anthony Davis to become Batman. Now LeBron James thought he was going to return the favor, particularly when Dwayne Wade was with the Miami Heat, and when LeBron James took his talents to South Beach. The struggle was real the first year because they would have this moment of, well, whose night it is, picking and choosing and things of that nature. And after that one season, Dwayne Wade, sacrificed and said, you know what, I'm going to be Robin and LeBron, you be Batman. So LeBron thought that strategy was going to work for Anthony Davis, but both of these players cannot stay on the court long enough to get this accomplished. Okay. So that's one reason. Another reason is Anthony Davis has a huge issue with the organization, most notably Jeannie Buss. Anthony Davis, sees the same stuff we see on social media. Every day there's a report, a rumor, not a report, let's just say rumor, that Anthony Davis is going to be traded to XYZ. Then I felt like the Lakers and LeBron James sort of destroyed, sort of put they didn't put a kibosh on this report, saying that, because there was a lot of rumors that was speculating that in the off season, they may look at kicking the tires around of trading AD to the Dallas Mavericks. And in return, Dallas is going to max out Kyrie Irving and then send Kyrie Irving packing to La La Land, which that's the destination Kyrie Irving wants to go to. And reuniting, and it feels so good with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving because they're reminiscing of the time that when they were in Cleveland and they won that championship, and they feel like they can reestablish the magic once again. And Anthony Davis hears this stuff. So Anthony Davis has an issue with that. And he also has an issue a little bit with LeBron James' team, Rich Paul, as well as LeBron James, orchestrating and pretty much promoting Kyrie Irving to come to Tinseltown. All right. So, that's another reason why Anthony Davis has an issue with Jeannie Buss, the Los Angeles Lakers, and LeBron James. As well as they haven't necessarily built a team around Anthony Davis. Even though Anthony Davis sort of co-signed to them getting Russell Westbrook, I think he was, it was more so of that was a LeBron James decision, and Anthony Davis thought, to be a part of them, he could, utilize them, co-signing to them, getting getting Russell Westbrook. And Russell Westbrook did not work. I told you guys when they traded for Russell Westbrook, this was not going to work, and they were going to try to trade him in the next offseason. I was kind of wrong about possibly getting him traded in the next offseason. There was trade speculations of trading Russell Westbrook in that season when they got Russell Westbrook, and it just the styles didn't mix, the talent didn't mix, and it was destruction from the word go. But Anthony Davis has had enough of the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James. He obviously sees that they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. LeBron James is outside of his prime. LeBron can't no longer put teams on his back. and carry him to the promised land. Those days are over. And Anthony Davis sees it. And Anthony Davis knows that he's a talented basketball player, but at the end of the day, he needs to be paired up with someone who's much more talented and that can carry a team to the promised land. Now, is that Luka Doncic? I feel like Luka and Anthony Davis, they styles sort of blend together. They styles fit more so. But Anthony Davis, alongside LeBron James, I thought in the beginning that was, their styles sort of fit. You have a big man and a small man, sort of say. So if it goes through like the report suggests, and if Anthony Davis goes to Dallas, I think that's very promising. Him pairing up with someone who's just now starting to get into his prime, if he can just grow up some, like Jason Kidd recommended Luka Doncic to do, they can do some extraordinary things, particularly if they manage Anthony Davis minutes, sort of say, and maybe if he can just play 50 or 60 games, manage his minutes, really save him for the postseason and let Luka cook, that could be a very good dynamic. And I feel like that's going to be a bigger dynamic than when AD was paired up with LeBron James. Now, does this mean that they're going to win the title? I think they'll have the makings of winning the title, but obviously they're going to have to do a whole lot of shuffling around with that roster to get that roster deep enough talent-wise. And if you look at the Los Angeles Lakers and Jeannie Buss, they see they see that they're on the outside looking in. They're no longer contending for titles no more. And that's another thing Anthony Davis had a huge issue with Los Angeles, as well as LeBron James. They're moving their horizons in a different narrative. Now it's about LeBron James passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I feel like that's their title. That's their championship. That's something that Jeannie Buss is going to hang her hat on. That when she had LeBron James, when he was a member of the Purple and Gold, surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record, as well as she won a title with LeBron James. And I feel like she's a made man in Los Angeles. Well, a made woman, okay, and she can't do any wrong, even if for the next 6 to 8 years, they're not contending and they're not winning titles. Okay, I think she had done enough for the Los Angeles Lakers fans to not throw her under the bus, sort of say, because to win that title, they sacrificed a lot of their future. They let go of a lot of their draft picks. They let go of a lot of their young talent that they cultivated and drafted when Magic was running the bus, like Alonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, all of those young guys. They packaged all those young guys plus a bunch of draft picks to get AD at the bite at the apple, so to say, to win a title. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, it was a shortened season. It was a break in between season. It's a bubble-licious championship. And I feel like all championships are equal. It's just at the end of the day, do you remember those championships? I feel like, unfortunately, no one's going to remember the Los Angeles Lakers winning that championship. Okay, it'll come up in conversation, but, that's that. But other than that, they won a title, okay? And they had to sacrifice to win that title by giving up a lot of their future and a lot of their young pieces. And that's what's going on with the Lakers right now. They sacrificed all that for one title, and now they're paying the price, the handling and the shipping, okay? So that's what's going on with the Los Angeles Lakers. They're not going to be contending anytime soon. Anthony Davis sees the writing on the wall, and LeBron sees the writing on the wall as well, okay? So Anthony Davis has issues with Tinseltown. Anthony Davis has issues with LeBron James. And now let's get back to LeBron James' injury. They say he's going to be out in 3 weeks. A lot of experts are saying he's going to be out for 4 weeks. If he's out for 4 weeks, and then after he's out for 4 weeks, they reevaluate again to see if he's able to play, that I don't think the Lakers have enough talent on that roster, including AD, to win a title. I mean, I feel like those days are done. Even when they had LeBron James, it was a rough time for these guys to win a title. I mean, we just have to face facts and face reality that the Los Angeles Lakers are, even with LeBron James, they still was unable to beat the top four teams in the West. They will have an issue playing the Memphis Grizzlies. They'll have an issue playing the Phoenix Suns. They will have an issue playing Sacramento Kings, the Golden State Warriors. They're going to have an issue playing the Los Angeles Clippers. Even though the Los Angeles Clippers are struggling right now, I feel like it's more of a struggle trying to fit the style of one player, Russell Westbrook, and it's hurting and affecting the other team. I think they should slow it down a little bit, let Russell Westbrook cook individually, doing quick, fast breaks and things of that nature. But you shouldn't build your team around the talent of a Russell Westbrook. But going back to the Lakers with LeBron James, he was sort of cryptic on what foot was injured. Because if you guys remember, he was talking about this foot for quite some time now. And then he said that he stepped on someone's foot, which, if you look at the video, he didn't step on somebody's foot. And the NBA, as well as the NBA medical staff, as well as the Los Angeles Lakers medical staff, all are reporting that it's a non-contact injury. I feel like that's just the way the cookie crumbles when you get older. When you get older, your ligaments are not the same like they used to when you was younger. They're not that flexible. They're not that solid. And if you just turn the wrong way or get up the wrong way out of bed, something is going to ache and something is going to pop and something is going to, bug you. Okay, injury rise because you're getting older. It's Father Time has not lost a battle to no one, and he's definitely not going to lose a battle against LeBron James. Now, LeBron James can keep Father Time at the bay of the door for a little bit, but eventually, when we all get older, we injure things a lot quicker, and a lot of things are not stable. And I just think that's what's going on with one LeBron James. And two, I said this in the live stream, LeBron James is not that same guy no more. He's not that guy, pal. He's not that guy. He's not that guy that's going to single-handedly carry you to the NBA Finals. Those days are far freaking behind him, okay? So, it is what it is. Unfortunately, LeBron James is in the same situation like any other older player. He's going to have to keep his minutes in check. He's been playing a lot of minutes because of the simple fact he wanted to get the Kareem scoring record. And I felt like he was going to pay the cost to get that scoring record, even if it means running a risk of being injured. LeBron James, before him trying to get this individual accomplishment, this individual achievement, he sort of was cautious and careful with his minutes. Even though he had a high ratio of usage of minutes, he still would keep it in check, so to say. But that's what happens when you're shooting a ton of jumpers, when you're shooting a ton of threes. Those ligaments, and I've talked about this in a video, is that this is not a foregone conclusion why people that constantly depend on their game shooting jumpers and threes are always the ones who have ankle, knees, foot problems, ligament problems, and things of that nature, versus someone that really doesn't play above the rim, sort of say, and doesn't because every time you go up, you go down and you start hurting a bone or a ligament or something. So that's what's going on with LeBron James. I think he's going to be out for the remaining of the season. And the Los Angeles Lakers were going to struggle. They were going to struggle with LeBron James. They're going to struggle even more without the services of one LeBron James. So that's all I got for that. Guys, tell me what you think. Let me get into the next topic of discussion. The next topic of discussion, we're going to go into some James Harden. And this is not good if you are a Sixer fan. But this report comes from The Athletic. Should James Harden and the Houston Rockets embark on a new beginning this summer, nearly 3 years after their breakup that was both messy and misunderstood? It will be reunited, born out of so many believing what was their ending. The deal to Brooklyn that finally went down on January the 13th, 2021, was already done, with Harden heading to the Nets in a blockbuster involving 4 teams, 3 first-round picks, 4 first-round pick swaps, and a player. But Houston ownership, Tidman, who was unbashful of the love of all things, Harden was no secret during their 3.5-year conception for a title together. The message was shared with a lot of people that was in that franchise. And I just lost it. No, I didn't lose it. That was pretty much it. And if you read SB Nation has this: James Harden rumor swirling around enjoying the Sixers while you still can. As frustrated as the 22-23 season the Sixers can be at times, this might be as good as it get for the next few years. It seems like on the recent loss between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat, the Dallas Mavericks have a steady stream of rumors suggesting James Harden might leave this summer and sign to the Houston Rockets in free agency. It's hard to blame any fans for being frustrated. This season was likely to end with another second-round exit at best, which would raise some questions about a long-term solution. Harden's future might be the only painful decision that the Sixers have to deal with in the offseason. That's why it's aggravating as this year, the Sixers might be at best. You should enjoy these next few months. If anything, the gap between them and the other top contenders is still only likely to widen after this season. The Sixers has already have 117.1 million in salary on their books for next season, but with only 7 players under contract. House is 4.3 million. Montrezl Harrell is 2.8 million. It would not surprise me if they are no longer interested in Montrezl Harrell. He'll probably be on another team with less of a 1-year contract that's going to be less than 2.8 million. But that's just me. All right. Picking up their respective player options for next season, that would push the total payroll to 124 million. Woo! Next year's salary cap is projected to go up to 134 million. Even if Harden walks, the Sixers would have minimal cap space if they renounce the rest of their free agency, such as Milton, George, and McDaniels. and Paul Reed, along with the 5.9 million room mid exception. Regardless of what Harden decides to do, it would behoove them to operate as an over the cap team using the remaining free agents as cap holds. If the Sixers do re-sign Harden, it's likely to bump up again. The salary cap is likely to bump up to a projected 162 million in luxury tax threshold. Ah, yes, the luxury tax, everyone's favorite topic. Okay, they do have the bird rights on McDaniels, Reed, and early bird rights to Nege, which means they can exceed the salary cap to re-sign all of them. But the cost of doing that will be so prohibitive and expensive depending on the price. That's among the reasons why the Sixers have motivated to get under the tax line this season. If it wasn't just the NBA cutting the 8-figure check to Josh Harris, but by pushing the clock on repeat taxes by a year would maximize their ability to re-sign their free agents this offseason without going into the tax threshold. Okay, so let's dig into that. That was a lot of information. All right. And basically, I feel like James Harden days are numbered for several reasons. One, the Sixers has never been a franchise that plays over the salary cap. They kind of stingy with their money. They don't want to pay extra money. And if you look at the Sixers and if you look at what they have on their roster, is it enough with James Harden to beat the Milwaukee Bucks, to beat the Boston Celtics? Okay. Right now, no. Right now, no. I think Boston is a better team than the Sixers. And I think Milwaukee is a better team with the Sixers. Plus, if you look at Boston and Milwaukee, their cap situation is in good standings. All right. They haven't signed a lot of free agents. They sort of went through the draft and built that way, with the exception of Milwaukee. Milwaukee, a lot of their players they got through trades, and they re-signed and recommitted to those guys, or those guys are still under contract. And from my understanding, they're going to still recommit to those guys. But they're constructed very, very well to not be too far over the luxury salary cap. And if you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, and it goes back to that trade where we were all talking and saying, well, who got the best of that trade? Did Brooklyn get the best of that trade, or did the Philadelphia 76ers get the best of that trade? Hold on one second. And I thought it was best for both. Some people were pointing towards when the trade was made. Some people thought that the Philadelphia 76ers got the best end of that trade. A lot of people felt like the Brooklyn Nets had the best of that trade. And now, looking at it now, it feels like, and it seems like both of those franchises took huge steps back doing that trade. Philadelphia, ever since they gotten James Harden, has not done any better. They always exit very soon, even with James Harden. And if you look at Brooklyn, yeah, it was one whole year they didn't have the services of Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons just now started to play for Brooklyn, and he's injured again. Plus, there's a rumor going around that is Ben Simmons even seriously thinking about playing basketball. So you got that up in the air. You know, you also got people thinking that maybe it's a mental thing with Ben Simmons. I don't know. But clearly, if you look at the Philadelphia 76ers and if you look at the Brooklyn Nets, they have not gone anywhere. Okay. Yeah. Philly has gotten into the playoffs more so than have well, Philly has had more playoff success than Brooklyn, but the results are pretty much the same. They have not went anywhere. They have not gone or did anything. They have not won the title. Okay, they have not won an NBA conference title. I mean, in NBA Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, but it is what it is. And both of these teams, if you look at both of these teams, they are struggling. They are struggling hard. So much so, if you look at Philly, you hear this report of James Harden may go back to Houston. And if you look at Brooklyn, they have already gotten rid of Kyrie Irving. They have already got rid of Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is in Phoenix. Kyrie Irving is in Dallas. Okay, so they're out west, and Brooklyn is doing okay. They're having pretty much the same success as when they had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant on their roster or on their payroll, however you want to believe in that. Okay, but if you look at James Harden is looking at, look, I want to win a title, but at what cost? Clearly James Harden is not happy. And also you got to look at James Harden as the person. James Harden likes to frequently go to the strip clubs. He likes to hop on a plane, go to the strip club in Las Vegas, maybe go to LA, maybe go to some strip clubs in Houston. I think that's why he wants to probably go back to Houston. It's not like Houston has a better roster than the Philadelphia 76ers. It's just James Harden is looking at it as, okay, what's important to me? Sticking in Philadelphia where it's cold most of the year. The fans are going to be frigid to you. They're going to blame you. You're in a no-win situation. Being bounced out early in the playoffs, or having all that stress in Philly, or go to Houston, just do you. You're not going to contend in out west, and you're going to go to the strip club and you're going to have fun and you're going to be making money. What's more important to you? And I think James Harden is saying going to Houston is much more important to him than going to Philly. Okay, and that's just the bottom line of it. Houston is a more of an attractive set piece to him than going to staying with Philly at the end of the day. Hold on one second. So that's what's going on in NBA. Those the three main topics that I had. Um, as far as other news and notes go, John Morant, John Morant and his issue, which right now I really don't want to comment on because everyone's pretty much speculating. There's a report that it goes back to when the Memphis Grizzlies were playing against the Indiana Pacers. There was some executives, some people, the staff at the Indiana Pacers said that there was a laser beam pointing at them. And they're tying John Morant to that. Then you got John Morant and his father, and situation with John Morant and his father and Shannon Sharp. That's tied in now. Comes word that John Morant had an incident with some prospect, and words were exchanged, and the kid who was 17 said that John Morant pulled a weapon out on him. I don't know if that's to be true, but the NBA is investigating. And all I can say on that is I hope all this is proven false. But if there is some truth to it, then John Morant clearly has to grow up. John Morant got to realize that, look, he's no longer in them streets, all right? Ain't no sense of, playing that way. Look, this is your new life as being an elite basketball player, one of the best. You got endorsement deals. You got a lot to lose than trying to hang with your folks. Let your folks, if they want to continue to run the streets, let them run the streets. Okay, you run them courts. All right, you dominate that press. You get those endorsement deals. Okay, you need to be the next great one. All right, you got a lot of stuff to lose than to just hang with the fellas on them streets. All right, so that's all the news and notes I got, unfortunately. And normally I read the comments in the comment section, but no one has any comments, so I'm gonna pretty much end it there, guys. I hope y'all have a lovely, productive Saturday morning. I hope I do. I will see you guys on the flip side of things. This was an unexpected live stream, so pardon the mess. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. All right. Feel free to hit the subscription button and notification bell. Share this content with your friends, family, as well as your followers. Let's get this podcast in the YouTube algorithm. All right. I'm up out of here. Deuces.